Okay, today we're going to go over test 18A09, questions 9 through 11. So this first question says, which of the following is equivalent to a to the third to the 21st? Well, remember the rule for exponents is if I have x to the y to the z, then I can multiply my exponents together. When I have one exponent raised to another exponent, I can multiply the two together, and that simply becomes x to the yz. Or in this case, a to the 3 to the 21st becomes a to the 3 times 21, or in other words, a to the 63. So that is E. If f of x equals 3x squared plus 7x minus 8, then f of negative 3 equals, well, in this case, the negative 3 took the place of the x. Anytime you have f of something, that something just simply replaces whatever the original f was. So in this case, it becomes 3 times negative 3 squared plus 7 times negative 3 minus 8. And you can put that in your calculator just like that. So 3 parentheses negative 3, oops, that's not 3. 3 parentheses negative 3 and parentheses first, then squared. Remember your calculator, if you put negative 3 squared in, your calculator will do negative 3 squared, or in other words, it'll do the 3 squared first and then make the whole thing negative. But of course, negative 3 squared should be positive 9. Plus 7 parentheses negative 3 and parentheses minus 8. Our answer is negative 2, G. Okay, two sides of a triangle are equal in length. Okay, when we have two sides of a triangle that are equal in length, just as an FYI, we call that isosceles. The third side is 3 centimeters longer than either of the other two sides. Okay, since I don't know what the other two sides are, I'll call them x. If I don't know something is x, which makes this one x plus 3. Given that the perimeter of the triangle is 93 centimeters, what is the length of the longest side? Okay, so since the perimeter is 93, that means I can do, perimeter is adding the three sides up, right? So x plus x plus x plus 3 equals 93. Or in other words, 3x plus 3 equals 93. Or in other words, minus 3 from both sides. 3x equals 90. X equals 30. But B is not the answer. That is a trap. It's very common for the test makers to say, hey, you know, this is how you're going to do it, and this is a logical stopping spot, and let's show that as an answer choice. But remember, they're asking the longest side, which is that one, which is x plus 3, which is D. The 220 graduating seniors of Madison High School will sit in the center section of the school auditorium at the graduation ceremony. How many rows of seats will be needed to seat all the graduating seniors if the first row has 10 seats and each succeeding row has 10 more seats than the previous rows? So the question is, how many rows of seats? Well, I can go through one by one, but since I can look at my answer choices and the very first option is F, I'm going to start with 10 rows. So the question then is, if my first row is 10, and my next seat is 12, and my next one is 14, now you might think, oh, is there a shortcut or a pattern? Maybe. Sometimes trying to remember a shortcut or a pattern takes more time than just doing the long way. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can definitely just kind of do this real fast. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 would be 10 rows. Now, definitely to get to 10 plus 12 plus 14 all the way to 28, we can do what I call the rainbow trick, right? 10 plus 28 is 38. Now, if I added, I'm going to put the 26 down. If I added 12 plus 26, I would also get 38. So the question then becomes, how many arcs am I going to do to get all these added up? Well, since there's 10 numbers here for 10 rows, then it's obviously going to be 5 arcs. So what is 38 times 5? And I get 190. Is 190 enough to fit 200 seniors? No. So I'm going to add one more row. The next row is 30. 190 plus 3 is 220. So that's all I needed was 11 rows. In standard xy coordinate plane, the point 3, -7, 3 over -7, is the midpoint of the line segment with endpoints 9, -11. So now 9 over -11. So that's the midpoint. Then the other point's going to be in this area. Okay, so what can I do is make a triangle out of these. Now the rise from here to here, I went from -11 up to -7. That's a rise of 4. So from -7, 4 higher up, puts me at -3. And only one of those has -3, so it's probably B. But just to double check, I also went from 9 over to 3, which is a difference of 6. So we go from 3, 6 further, I'm going to end up at -3. So yep, B is the answer. Okay, right here we have a big group problem. Those are sometimes nice, sometimes less than nice, but that's okay. A community theater group performed 5 local schools. For each school, the table below shows the total number of tickets sold and the total dollar amount collected from ticket sales. Schools, tickets sold, ticket sales. At school A, only 2 types of tickets were sold. Premium tickets for 10 and value tickets for 6. How many value tickets were sold at school A? Okay, so we know that our total number of tickets is 200, which means if I add up my premium tickets, the number of premium tickets, plus the number of value tickets, that has to be 200. I also know that my total money was $1,400. Now the total money comes from the price times how many you sell of each option. So 10 times the premium plus 6 times the value has to equal 1,400. Anytime I have 2 equations and 2 unknowns, there's a couple options I can do. I can solve for one variable and substitute it into the other one and move forward. Or if they're in a similar format like this, what I can actually do is put them together and add them up. So for example, I'm going to times this whole top equation by 10, which makes this 10p and 10v and 2,000. Now the advantage there is I can subtract these equations from each other. 10p minus 10p is nothing. 10v minus 6v is 4v. 2,000 minus 1,400 is 600. So divide both sides by 4, and I get that my value tickets sold is equal to 150. And that is what they were asking, and so I can do V as J. Now the reason that worked out is because, again, the equations were similar setup, and I timed this top by 10 so that my p's would cancel out and go away. If they had asked how many premium tickets were sold, then I would have times the whole top section by 6, subtracted down, and my v's would have gone away, and I would have been left with some p's. And the numbers would have worked out differently as well. So that's pretty, yeah. The theater group had to each school a facility charge. For use of its facility, School C charged the theater group 10% of the ticket sales and a fixed fee of $200. How much money did School C charge? Well, 10% of the ticket sales is 10% of $1,800, which is $180, plus the fixed fee of $200. So total, that makes $380. What is the difference between the median and the mean number of tickets? Remember, median has the D in it, so it's the same as the middle. And the mean is the arithmetic average. So first the median, number of tickets sold. So not the price, but the number of tickets. So this is number 1. This is number 2. 250 is next. 275 is next, and 300 is last. So the median is my 250. The mean, I simply 200 plus 250 plus 300 plus 150 plus 275, and then divide that by 5, and I get 235. Now the question is asking for the difference between those two. That's a difference of 15. It's always good in a long question to go back and double check what the question was, so you're answering the right thing. What is the area in decimeters of a right triangle with sides of 10 dm, 26 dm, 24? Okay, since it's a right triangle, we know it has a hypotenuse, and we know the hypotenuse is the longest side. So this one is your 26, which makes this your 10 or this your 24. These two are interchangeable. But remember, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Or in other words, 1/2 times 10 times 24. Or in other words, 120. Okay, so that was questions 9 through 17 on ACT Form 18A09. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.